Hi students, I want to go over with you your very first Dropbox assignment for this class, which is the resilience and capacity building exercise. And the purpose of this video is to tell you how to succeed with that assignment. And pretty much everything I'm going to tell you here in this video is also on the same page where the video appears. So you can read it and you can listen and watch me as well. So the first thing that I would suggest is that you review the rubric. The rubric for all of the Dropbox assignments are very similar, but there are some subtle differences. So I would recommend that you review it carefully because that will tell you what you need to do to get the grade that you want. But I also want to point out one special aspect of the rubric, and I realize that you can't really read it very well on this slide, but it is also here on the page where the video appears, so you can take a look there. The last criterion in the rubric is formatting, spelling, and grammar. And I want to let you know that in my grading, I also include in that criterion correct use of citations and reference lists. So if I take off any points for incorrect in-text citations or reference lists, this is where I'll be taking the points off from. I just want to make you aware of that. Note that there are required word counts for several aspects of this assignment. You can, of course, feel free to go over the word counts, but it would be best not to go under them. And let's start looking at the actual assignment instructions. You are asked to complete a resiliency quiz, record your resiliency score, and read through the interpretation of your score. You're given a link for this resiliency quiz. And after completing the quiz, you are asked to reflect on your level, your personal level of resilience in 150 to 250 words. So be sure to include your resiliency score in your assignment submission. Now let's look at some tips for that part of the assignment. Since you are going to be using the resiliency quiz as a source, you need to use correct APA formatting for citing the author of the quiz and include this source in your reference list. Now, I have found that past students mistakenly did not realize that it was very easy to find the author, the name of the author, and the date of publication for the quiz. It's really very obvious on the site, so I expect you to use the correct author's name and publication date in your listing for the quiz and in your in-text citation. Continuing with the assignment instructions, you're asked to describe how you might use the information presented in this course to increase your resilience and build capacity in yourself and organizations, particularly perhaps the organization you work for, and you're asked to do that in 100 to 200 words. So let's look at a couple of tips. One tip for that part of the assignment. You're not required to cite any sources in this response, this part of the assignment, but you might choose to. You might choose to bring the Cockerell book into your response. So if you do use any sources, such as the Cockerell textbook, be sure you use correct in-text citations and correct listings on your references list. Continuing with the next part of the assignment, you're asked to write a personal vision statement using the guidelines below. And they appear on this page, and they're a list of quite a few questions that help you to think about what your personal vision statement is. And that is expected to be 150 to 200 words. And again, some tips for this part of the assignment. Remember that this is a personal vision statement, so write it in first person using first person pronouns: I, me, my, mine, myself. And then you can actually scroll to beneath the personal vision statement guidelines for a sample excellent assignment. This was an assignment that scored a perfect score for one of my former students. Now, one thing I would caution you about with a sample is that the last time the course was taught, it did not include the personal vision statement, so that's not part of the sample excellent assignment, but you'll see the rest of it there, and that will probably be very helpful to you to see what you need to do to create an excellent assignment. And of course, if you're unclear about anything, if you have any questions, any concerns about the assignment, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. If you have a question that you think other students might have, you can post it in the course Q&A forum, or you can just simply email me directly. So best of success with this assignment. I'm sure you'll do well if you follow all these tips and guidelines. Thanks, and I'm looking forward to seeing your assignments.